What's up? What's up?
What's up, YouTube family?
All right, YouTube, we are back, and today we are going to get into this one. Are Democrats calling for violence after the Supreme Court ruling on abortion? Democrats and violence in the same sentence as abortion?
Wow.
I read it and I was just like amazed by like, wow. Okay, my grandma, she grew up and, taught us about being a Democrat. God bless her soul. But I think if she were alive today and just read that, I think she'd be shocked herself, because her being a Democrat, I guess for her, the thoughts that she always had about it is that they were, yes, they fight for the people, but peaceful.
Okay.
Peaceful. They fight for the people in a cordial way. Mm-hmm. And then to see Democrats and violence along with abortion, I think she would just, wow. She would be very shocked, surprised, speechless. Because for all these years of her whole life, she has been taught that to be a Democrat, to only be a Democrat. And of course, that was taught to us.
Yeah.
So
passed down from generation to generation.
Passed down from generation to generation. So I'm just thankful that now that, we've gotten older, we have really begun to really pay attention to it.
Yeah.
A lot more of the Democrats and what they're doing, and the Republicans what they're doing, and our views have shifted from what we believe in. And I'm still surprised. I'm still shocked. I mean, you know what? I can't even say I'm shocked anymore in a way. At this point, but I didn't think it would get to this, because the big thing about what Trump did with the insurrection on January 6th,
the Republicans,
with Republicans, but it's just that, I mean, in my opinion, I see it as being a little bit different.
How you remember that?
I don't know. It's just something that irks me the wrong way, and I guess it's because I was a Democrat longer than I was a Republican.
Yeah.
So
the thing is, but the Democrats, it was always like that. Abortions, they always fought for abortions. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's been there. I think that a lot of times we don't do our research.
That is true. So that's what I'm saying. So yes, it's more of I became a Democrat because my grandma was Democrat, mom was Democrat, granddad was a Democrat. It was basically
it's like thing. I told somebody, I said, oh man, I'm Republican, and I voted for Trump, right? And oh my God, boy, it's the heads turn around. The black people like, what you wait a minute, let's start over. You say you're a Republican? Yeah. What's up? What's wrong with you? That's the first thing comes to their mind. What is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? So, but we all have a right to vote for whoever we want to vote for. But if whatever party you want to be, that's your right. But I say this: do research.
Yes.
Do the research.
And we have been getting to it. We have been doing our own research for ourselves, because what we have been taught. I mean, I'm 40. He'll be 47 this year. Well, I'll be 40 in November, and he's gonna be 47 this year. And it's just like, look how long it took. But
she had to correct that. She said, "Well, I'm 40.
I'm not 40 yet.
I'll be 40.
I'll be 40.
But he's 47.
I think you're gonna be 47. He's so ugly. He's so mean. But you see what I'm saying? It's just like we went off of and we saw the work being done in our community by our elected community leaders, and some of it was like trash, but again, it's like, oh, well, grandma said she's going to vote, and she's voting for, she always voted for Kareem Brown. That was her girl. I'm like, grandma, why you keep voting for her? But as I got older, I'm like, grandma, why are you voting for her? Like, what's she doing?
Okay, if your grandma was alive today, would she still be a Democrat?
I think she would.
And if she found out you voted, she changed your party to a Republican, would she have a breakdown? She wouldn't understand it.
She would not understand it. She would not understand why I switched to be a Republican. She would not understand. I could explain it to her and everything, and it's not even including Trump in the whole picture. of it, it would just be a problem.
Yeah.
You know, about what if your grandma was a Democrat forever?
Oh,
Just
man.
like mine. What do you think she'll say?
Something wrong. Did you just say something wrong with you, boy? So I knew it. I knew it. Something was wrong. I knew something was wrong with you, boy. I think that she, man, I just, it's like, it's embedded in us as kids, instilled in us as kids to be a Democrat. You know, black folks, man, you know, African Americans. It's instilled in us, so it's kind of hard to do the switch. Like,
Or even for them to do a shift.
Yeah, do a shift. Yeah.
I mean, they can see all these things going on, like here, when Corey Brown went to jail and everything. My grandma would have still, like she said, now she's gonna run again, in a different county.
District.
If my grandma district county, I guess,
Okay.
yeah, whatever it was. But I think my grandma would basically want us to drive her there so she can vote for her. I guess that's how it was. But that's who she always voted for.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, me being young, just looking like around the community, like, okay, it looks exactly the same. Like, it doesn't even look like anything different was done. Like, what? But hey, all right. Well, we're gonna get into this because, like I said, we watched some of it, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I just want to have an authentic reaction to the rest of it.
Did I watch this?
We watched some of it.
Wait.
And we had paused it. I think when they said they bombed an abortion clinic. I don't know.
Oh, I don't remember
But
watching.
yeah, no, we just watched part of it, but we stopped it because we wanted to just react to it.
But let's make it do what it do.
All right. Oh, I gotta do the thing because you know me, I forget. All right, let's get it done. Oh, why did I do that? Why did I click that? What did I do? Oh, there it is.
What you did?
Okay, you know what? It's not me.
You sure?
It's probably is an operator error, but I'm coming. Okay, here it is. Okay.
I hate to start this recording all the way back over, go all the way back over and just start over and do all this talking again.
Okay, you say elevator music.
Elevator music.
Dude,
It's
that was
like,
elevator
okay,
music.
go ahead.
Okay, it's not me. It's the
Protesters taking to the
Comcast.
streets for the second day after the Supreme Court handed down its decision overturning Roe v. Wade, allowing states to make their own abortion.
Oh, hold on. Okay, to record it.
Are you serious?
The Comcast messed up. All right, sorry about that.
We just don't hate the scrap.
What? No, he didn't. We just did. Listen, we not perfect. All right.
Protesters taking to the streets for a second day after the Supreme Court handed down its decision overturning Roe v. Wade, allowing states to make their own abortion laws. Protests erupted across the country after the ruling yesterday. Thousands of people, both pro-life and pro-abortion activists. The protests were mostly peaceful, but last night in our nation's capital, activists burned the American flag. One sign that was next to the burning flag read FMPD, and another reads F.U. Thomas, Alito, Coney Barrett, Kavanaugh, Gorsuch, Roberts. And police used tear gas to break up a sizable crowd outside the Arizona Senate building. One state senator tweeting, protesters threatened to break the entryway glass. Meantime, back in Washington, Democrats seem to be calling for violence. Watch.
You see this turnout here? You ain't seen nothing yet. The hell with the Supreme Court. We will defy them. We will be out by the thousands. We will be out by the millions.
There is a war out there, and we need to recognize that we've got to armor up.
This as the Department of Homeland Security warned extremists could use the Supreme Court's decision to justify their violence.
We can do that?
It's kind of amazing to me because, you know, you look at this, and just a few weeks back when you had the Buffalo shooting, you had the Democrats immediately pouncing on conservative rhetoric, saying that was to blame for the shooting. And now you just heard it. You've got these Democrats, these Democratic politicians that are either calling for violence or not condemning violence. I want to play this soundbite from California Congresswoman Sarah Jacobs, and then we'll get your response to this one.
We've seen acts of violence in previous weeks when the leak came out. We've seen people condoning those acts of violence, especially in the wake of today's decision. Your opinion on that?
Frankly, the government trying to tell me what to do with my body feels like an act of violence in and of itself.
As for the actual acts of violence that have taken place, you know, do you condone it? Yes or no?
I think people should do what they think is the most effective way to stand up to this hateful and shameful decision.
Indicating violence is the most effective way to stand up for a shameful decision. And Laura, what happens if somebody goes out and shoots some pro-life people? Do they blame the gun? What's going on?
It's really frightening, honestly. And we know that they've condoned this violence because you had this group, Jane's Revenge, that has firebombed pro-life offices, has targeted pro-life individuals across the country. Nothing has been truly done about it. You had parents that went to school board meetings and they were called domestic terrorists. This group has not been labeled as a domestic terrorist organization, although very clearly it's I don't know why they haven't. No one has done the right thing when it came to the folks protesting outside of the justices' homes.
Right.
Where was our...
Okay, all right. So they out there tearing up stuff. Is anyone getting arrested?
Hasn't said that.
So this is how you deal with this. And when they was tearing up for, you know, black, you know, they had the little black march and all that stuff, and they was tearing up the city, people was getting arrested.
Yeah.
Bring the police out there, the National Guard, start arresting people. Then start showing their arrest on TV. That'll solve that whole...
But then, like he said, it's like, okay, what if they shoot a pro-life person? Is it the gun to blame or the person who? Like,
I thought if you burn a flag,
that's what
that's automatic. You go to jail. I see. They
mean,
got it on video.
Yeah.
The people that's burning the flags. Yeah. What did they do with the Democrats when they tore the building? Right? They said, hey, we're looking for these guys.
Oh,
the Republicans. I'm sorry, I messed it up.
Mm-hmm.
But they say we're looking for these guys. So at the end of the day, we see them burning the flag. What's the problem? Why nobody getting arrested?
Nobody. Yeah. I mean, maybe it's one of those things where they'll come back later on and say, hey, we're looking for these people later on.
Nah, man, you can take the police out there right now. Paddy Wagon, whatever they call it.
Paddy Wagon.
I watch too much TV. But
bring the Paddy Wagon.
Bring the Paddy Wagon, pull them out, start arresting them, man, and that'll solve the whole problem. You tearing up stuff, burning flags, talking about violence is okay. That's not cool, man.
So they want to, so bring violence so that people can't kill babies.
She's saying that she has a right to do with her own body.
No, you can. But
she has a right to do what she wants to do with her own body. Right. That's what she said.
And I think in the other
that's what they're really putting out there. I have a right to do what I can do with my own body.
And I think in another video I was watching, just a little bit of it earlier, it was just saying how I guess when the Supreme Court threw that out, it didn't the Supreme Court didn't specify how abortion shouldn't or should be done. I don't know. I was reading another article yesterday about a lady in I think it was Texas, and she was getting abused and she left and she wanted to get an abortion. They told her it was too late. She had to go to New Mexico. So it was just a whole lot of things. But it's at the same time, it's just like all of this because of you feel that you don't have a choice for your body. Okay, if a baby isn't a baby, okay, or is it because they say a baby is not a baby until it's 6 weeks?
Yeah, you got too many pills out there. You got pregnancy pills.
No, what's the thing called birth control, which I took like 9 different versions for other reasons.
You got all this stuff out there.
The IUD, the other little thing they put in your arm, so you have the different ways. So yeah, I guess you have a choice of what you want to do with your body. I got my tubes tied, but that's because I had too many kids.
You got condoms. Put a condom on.
Yeah, wear condoms, female condoms. So you have choices. And I know, baby,
The thing is that they say, you know, what if you get raped?
Now that, of course, don't want that to happen to anyone. That right there is just something that, you know, that's when a support system does need to be there. You know, and of course, I would still not want a person to get an abortion, but it is their choice. Sad to say that it is their choice. But of course, abortion should not be. But abortion should not be the only choice.
I feel this way.
That does happen.
You got adoptions. You got a lot of people that can't have kids.
Yeah, you have adoptions and stuff.
It's find a solution. You know what I'm saying? The solution shouldn't have to be you killing the child.
Oh, abortion is the only route. You know that abortion.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So I got pregnant with this child. I don't want this child, so I'm going to do an abortion. No, I don't agree with that. I think we probably going to not have a lot of people subscribe anymore after this video because we give it our honest truth. But we have to. But if you don't have an honest, open and honest conversation about it, yes, you have a choice. However, it's your only choice to kill the baby inside of you. And should you bring violence along to make your point, just tell the truth at the beginning. Or even the politicians, Democrats, need to just tell the truth at the beginning. Now, how Maxine continues to
down there throwing
do her
temper
thing.
tantrums, like 3-year-olds. You know, they got 3-year-olds throw something around, and that, you know, when you get older, you got a little more sense. You don't throw anything. You don't have temper tantrums. That's the problem. You start tearing up stuff. Yeah. That's a temper tantrum, and I truly believe that. At the end of the day, you know, I think you can voice your opinion without tearing up stuff.
Yeah, I agree. All right.
Our Attorney General taking steps to make sure that that didn't happen. And now we see, after the fact, that people are obviously very heated. It is a very tense time in America. And when you have people, leaders that are not stepping up to the plate and saying, do not go out and commit violence. I mean, I don't agree with Joe Biden on much, but at least yesterday, whenever he spoke, he did say that. He did say, we don't want violence.
Finally
keep everything peaceful. It's a really scary time, and no wonder people are doing it. You have folks like that just saying basically anything goes.
David Webb, it's a very good point she brings up about the Attorney General, right? I mean, he did nothing for those protests outside the justices' homes, which have gone on for weeks now.
Right.
And it's clearly against the law. And then when the Attorney General comes out yesterday, I mean, how often have you seen an Attorney General weigh in on a Supreme Court decision and really kind of just slam it? It seems like politics is just so heavily involved.
Well, it is, and this is an Attorney General who, if they had their way, would be on the Supreme Court. I wonder what his view would be on a protest outside his home. That statement that Merrick Garland issued yesterday, I think it was about 11:30 a.m., he was quick to come out with it, was a political statement, not a statement that should be made by anyone in a law enforcement position. And you know, to your point about Joe Biden saying peace, peace, peace yesterday, this is after a planned assassination of a Supreme Court justice.
Which he still hasn't
This is
talked
after.
about.
Right, which they haven't spoken out yet. So I don't buy it. And to whether it's Congresswoman Maxine Waters, remember, she said go after Trump supporters, harass them if they're on arrest, and they did.
Yeah.
So, and the Congresswoman you had in that sound, you know, when you look at it, the Democrats are looking at this as how much can we gin up? They didn't close the Supreme Court trace because of violent people who wanted to pray outside. They closed it because of violent leftists who were threatening to go in. And when you think about Madison, Wisconsin, a few years back, what they did in that building, you know, this is what they're promoting tacitly or implicitly. They either implicitly say it or they tacitly approve it like the president did.
You had a couple of analysts also mention yesterday that, you know, we've seen weeks and weeks of protesting outside the justices' homes, clearly illegal because you cannot protest while a decision is pending. Right. The decision has been made. So now there's an argument that they could legally go and...
But again, like you said, he just said that they cannot protest outside these people's homes, yet they are, and they have not been arrested yet. The Paddy Wagon has not came yet.
Protest in front of these justices' homes, which ups the danger level there. Nicole, I just want to play this soundbite. This is a pro-abortion activist calling for violence against the Supreme Court. Watch.
I'm just convinced we need to burn it all down. Because at this point, I don't know what else we're supposed to do. advocating for violence. We're supposed to do what? Sit on the sidelines? Light it on fire?
They just want to.
All right, so right there. She said that. Go get them.
Like what on? What on fire? People houses?
I don't care what. She just said she finna do violence. She finna do something stupid. Go talk to her. Simple as that, man. Start arresting people. You break the law, you get arrested. Simple as that.
Use the wrong pronoun.
You can protest, you can speak. You know, you have your opinion. You can't say your opinion, talk, whatever you got to do. But
to
you
send somebody to somebody
use violence.
Shouldn't teach kids that in school.
You can't. Bottom line.
Torch everything.
Well, Trace,
Torch
part of the reason that there's such an uproar with the SCOTUS decision regarding Roe right now is because the Democrats have allowed the progressive left to radicalize the pro-life movement or the pro-choice movement. But essentially what they're saying, they're having violent demonstrations, they're promoting violence, and now they are radicalizing pro-choice because the majority of Americans are in some favor of some access to abortion with restrictions. The poll after poll tells us that. But what has happened was, even through that Women's Health Protection Act, you had 47 Democratic senators plus President Biden say that they would support that. And what that would do would remove any restrictions when it came to abortion, saying that a baby, up until the moment they breathe their first breath of life, could have an abortion.
Yeah, I read that
so,
too.
Yeah, the majority of Americans
Up
don't
until
necessarily agree with that. So because of that
states.
radicalized opinion, you have now galvanized the pro-life movement. You have also taken some of the moderates who are not okay with those late-term abortions, and now they've garnered some more support. So now it's going to go to the states. And at the end of the day, the extremes on both sides, pro-life, pro-choice, these state governors and legislators are not going to win re-election if they take radical sides on any extreme of the argument. And you need to come together and really go for what the American people want.
And we've got about a minute left, and I just want to point this out because I was in Times Square last night, and they had a march that came down. There were thousands of people, and it was peaceful. But I talked to some people, and it's surprising to me that most really, or some, believe that the Supreme Court just banned abortion in this country, and they don't realize that it went back to the states where it was for 108.
But that speaks.
That is the honestly
in
the
Florida,
most shocking thing
15
to me
weeks.
to have learned in the past 24 hours is just how many people believe what you're saying, Trace.
Yep.
That they have followed, and by the way, it's the rhetoric. Nicole, you talked about the rhetoric from the left. The left has pushed the idea that abortion is banned, period, in America. That is not the case. And a lot of folks, I think, need to go back and maybe go to high schools.
Because they mad about some abortion.
And that you can possibly have up until before you go into labor in some states. Oh, yeah, so I read that too. So before you go into labor, some states have it where you can have an abortion. So are you killing, is the baby getting killed at this point, or is it?
I just think it's just called dodging responsibilities. That's all it is. You're dodging your responsibility. You lay down with somebody, you had sex, now you have a baby. No more people plan for a baby. Some people don't plan, but at the end of the day, if you got a baby, you still got to take care of your responsibilities. Simple as that. If the dad is a deadbeat, you put him on child support. You let the system handle him, but you still take care of your child. If you can't take care of your child, they got adoptions homes out there. Put a child up for adoption, or give the child to a loved one. Simple as that. I don't know why all these people out there. That makes no sense to me. You want to do violence. You're doing violence when you're killing a baby.
It just breaks my heart, man, when I just read about you can kill a baby before it's born. It's ridiculous.
Civics and actually learn how the process in this country works, that now it goes back to the states. And if you believe in our constitutional republic, if you believe in a democratic process, that is what will happen now. And if your state votes to make abortion, up until 20 weeks, 25 weeks, 30 weeks, whatever it is, that'll be in your state. Some states may ban it altogether. But that's the scary part, is a lot of people believe that.
There's a responsibility that they've chosen to ignore on the left, and it's not just about this issue.
like immigration, you know, all the other issues, they gin it up and they drive it home. The misinformation benefits them, and then you get the chest beating by the media, the left-wing media, a media which, by the way, now says outright, like Don Lemon and others have done, we don't cover the issues equally, Democrats, Republicans, right, left. So this is going to become more of a problem, and unfortunately, I do believe in some of the states you're going to see more radical action and bad behavior.
10 seconds to wrap us up.
At the end of the day, violence will never be the answer, and especially it goes against, it's the antithesis for a democracy, which is what we are. So I implore all leaders, anyone in the public eye, to not condone violence, because people will get hurt and people will die.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Great conversation. We will continue it. Hi, Glenn O'Brien, kill me.
Wow.
Still heartbreaking though, you know, just to think about that. It still gets me with the late term abortions.
Yeah, that's the world we live in, man.
You have a choice, but again, abortion is not the only one.
Yep.
All right, guys. This one was the tough one for me. So